It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. We the people as our beat and rhyme. We're dropping old school values every time. Extreme honesty with a fresh twist. Breaking it down, you don't wanna miss. It's freedom talk, loud and proud. Voice of the people, can't be cowed. Every week, we speak our mind. For love of country, it's one of a kind. So grab a seat, let the BRANE Show roll. We're serving up truth, heart and soul. Brian and Shane, with that patriot steel. For the people, by the people, of the people, let's go. It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show, coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall.
This is for America!
Yep.
Shut the f*** up!
Yep. All right.
You know what the problem with Hollywood is? They make shit unbelievable, unremarkable shit.
To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair.
Will you fight? No! We will run! And we will live!
Shame on you. This could be the greatest night of our lives. But you're gonna let it be the worst.
And I guarantee a week won't go by in your life you won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of you.
Well, I'm not going home.
Day may come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy.
You're gonna work harder than you ever worked before.
I really do believe that together we can accomplish anything.
Because we'll never stop learning and we'll never stop growing.
Failure is not an option. That's how winning is done. Believe me when I say we can break this army here. It has made us brothers. I say to you, what every warrior has known since the beginning of time. You've got to get mad.
I mean plumb mad dog mean.
If you would be free men, then you must
Fight to fulfill that promise. Let us
Cut out their living guts.
1 inch at a time.
And they will know what we can do!
Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions.
This is your time. Seize the day. Never surrender.
Victory or death.
So come on then! Take it!
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
All right, let's fly! My name is the Lord. When I
Tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our Independence Day.
You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world.
We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina, energy to do our thing. Get your camera. This show is about to begin, so sit down and buckle it in. Let's go! Hey everybody, my name is Brian. Shane's in the middle and John's on the far right. Literally and figuratively.
Yeah, thank you for that. Oh, hello, Mr. Starmer. Oh, and your squad of Gestapo men. Thank you.
Wait, that would make me far left. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's a mole, everyone. He's a mole.
Hey everyone, welcome to the BRANE Show. I am so glad you're here with us, especially all the awesome Saltards out there right now. Thank you. Saltards have arrived
Salt tards. Huh?
yeah.
Is that what you guys came up with?
Well, no. So the going poll right now is I forgot what it was. It was like salt tards, salt miners.
Okay. Oh, I like them.
Salty justice warriors. I think someone suggested saltines, but
I like saltines.
I'm rooting for saltards. I think that's.
I was going to say, are they going to do like a comedy movie like Spaceballs for saltards as well?
Not as good as Brainiacs, though.
Nothing as good as Brainiacs. Thank you, all the Brainiacs here today. We're glad you're here. We're glad you support us. We got a great show today. We are talking about the East Wing. Trump is taking a straight-up wrecking ball to the White House. It's horrible. He is damaging 150 years of history. How dare he? How dare that man destroy our history? And then also we're talking about, and I can't help me with that. I can't pronounce this guy's name, dude. I'm gonna.
You're
Zoran Mamdani.
It's Zoran Mamdani.
Whatever. That weirdo. We're gonna talk about that dude. We're gonna talk about the Muslim crisis in the UK and how we're starting to see a little bit of that going on in the United States. And I'm glad we have a UK guy here with us to talk about that. Hopefully he's not arrested and pulled into prison after this episode. And
well, I'll just escape. They'll let me go like they did with that guy yesterday.
Right? Yeah, easy. If you were in New York, it'd be no bail required, just right on the street. Also, the Warner Brothers Discovery potential buyout and how they are now entertaining a lot of offers. And Shane has a lot to say about that ridiculous fake news coming on MSNBC, and I can't wait to hear him talk about that because the more I looked in it, the more I was like, yeah, Shane's right. This is bullcrap.
It's frustrating, to say the least.
Fatigue. I'm so fatigued. I literally have a bookmark. I'm going to show you guys. I have a bookmark right here, just called fatigue, because I'm just so tired of these liars, just these brainwashed, brain damaged idiots.
The bookmarks are. I guess the bookmarks are of people who you don't like, right?
No. It's examples of no, not exactly. It's examples of people being. It's examples of people that fatigue me, Shane. I'm fatigued.
I don't see my name on there.
No, you're not on there. I'm not tired of you. Even though I've been working on a video now that has taken me a month, and I've been listening to your voice in my head for a month, I'm still not tired of you. That's how buttery and delicious your voice is. I'm like, I can't wait to get back to hearing Shane talk about something. I almost dropped that. I almost dropped it. You know what I mean?
Almost did.
I almost did. Talk about something, the same thing, for hours on end. Anyways, I'm not fatigued by you, Shane. And we also talk about some alien stuff, because at one point we were like, look, we want to talk about some entertainment stuff, some politics stuff, and we need to talk about some alien stuff. And I think what I literally wrote in our run of show, I was like, East Wing, Zohan Mardani, WBD buyout, and then any alien crap.
Right. And can I just say
Shane
about
found
AI?
us some good alien stuff to talk about. Go ahead.
Can I just say about Shane? You got the Shane AI. You've got to expand it so it infects the internet, so that when you have these idiot people that are reacting to videos, just a face of Shane comes up. And if it's positive, Shane gives it a thumbs up. And if not, it's just a face of Shane going, I'm really disappointed in you.
Just a disappointed face. Like, no.
That's the way to save America and the West.
Yeah.
A Shane AI that does that.
Well, yeah,
right here.
Speaking of that, a lot when we get to the Zohan stuff and the Muslim stuff, people always assume the West is referring to the United States. But the West is not just the United States. The West is referring to the culture, Western culture. And that's in the UK, that's in parts of the EU, that's even in Spain. But the Western culture is being infected and attacked in a very slow, almost a diabolical rate of attrition. And we're going to talk about that tonight. But before we do, I do want to thank everyone that supported us last week and became members. Do me a solid, even if you're not a member, even if you're not, I'm not going to support these idiots. Hit the like button.
Are you watching?
Maybe you don't like us. Maybe you're like, I'm going to hate watch this show. Either way, maybe you're hate watching it, but you are watching. So do us a favor, hit the like button, right? Or dislike. I guess if you really want to hit the dislike button, you could do that too. Any button you choose to press, I would like you to press it right now, please.
By the way, just in case you guys want to know, both buttons do basically the same.
Yeah, by the way, the common misconception is that a dislike button makes you hurts the show, hurts the channel, and the like button helps the channel. Guess what? They both do the same thing.
It both means engagement.
Yeah, they both count as 1 point of engagement in their little Boolean search algorithm. So whether you hit dislike or like, either way, you're helping the channel. That's a
rigged game. It's
all rigged. And you know what's crazy is a lot of people just don't know that. They think if I dislike this, it's gonna make it where it's gonna show the YouTube that this is not a good channel to recommend. In reality, it just pushes it further up. And engagement is engagement.
Do you know someone's watching this now and they're going like for weeks they've been going on loads of channels and they've been going, I've been downvoting them for months, and suddenly they realise, but they've been getting more and more successful. What's going on?
Guys, this isn't Reddit, okay? YouTube doesn't care if you like it or dislike it. They just like that. They just want to see that you engaged.
Yeah, the Reddit pile on. I love that.
Yeah,
1 downvote equals 10 downvotes quickly.
Oh, it's crazy. Reddit has these. Well, Reddit has fallen. We already know that Reddit is no longer a platform worth anything. And one of the reasons is because a few moderators has effectively taken over about 85% of the entire website. Every subreddit that got popular was effectively hostile took over by a few, like a handful, a dozen admins or dozen moderators, until they pushed out all the moderators that actually started those subreddits. And now the majority of the website's most popular subs are ran by the same people. And if you think I'm lying, go look it up. It's really sad. There's some holdouts, like gaming subs, that just refused to let any moderators in that they didn't know. So they weren't slowly taken over from the inside out. But most of the most popular subs have been taken over by maybe a dozen moderators that are all super gay malware, left-wing lunatics.
Yeah.
Well said.
Well, anyways, that's what we're here to do. And I appreciate you're here. I think we're going to start off with the East Wing stuff. So you want to introduce this, Shane, and then we'll go into it? I got a bunch of East Wing stuff to talk about.
I really enjoyed like your thumbnail where you've got Trump on a wrecking ball, and then I believe the title is "He came in like a wrecking ball." Right, that was great, fantastic. So Trump came out. Look, we all know. By this point, everybody knows who and what President Trump is all about. He is a guy who's taking his legacy as president of the United States very seriously. He wants to be remembered as one of the greatest presidents, if not the greatest president who ever lived. And I got to tell you, by his policy alone, he's making a case. But one of the things he wants to leave behind, of course, is himself, a Trump ballroom. So when future presidents come along, you will have this Trump ballroom that he will be remembered by, basically. He's leaving his legacy there at the place. Now, what's interesting about Trump building this ballroom, and before we get into the news media, of course, trying to bastardize it, the truth of the matter is that many presidents have actually tried to have refurbished the White House. It's been happening since the beginning. Even George Washington, who selected the location of the place, but in Harry Truman's term, they actually gutted the entire White House and redid it because it needed to be updated. Right. JFK did stuff. Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford,
Teddy Roosevelt built the West Wing. Taft built the Oval Office. FDR added the East Wing and the indoor pool, which they turned into a press thing. Nixon added a bowling alley. Yeah.
And they all took criticism. For the most part, a lot of people took criticism when they tried to do something. I mean, Obama put in a basketball court. Gerald
$376 million basketball court.
Right. They put in a bowling alley. I mean, there's been a lot of things put in there. So this is a ballroom. Now, what's interesting is they are not knocking down the White House to, contrary to popular belief, they're not knocking down the White House to create this ballroom. Okay, it's an addition to the White House off of the current East Wing. So the actual, and Trump was very clear about this, they are not knocking down any part of the White House to accomplish this. But what's even better is all those people who did all those things, all the refurbishments we talk about, all of that money came from the taxpayers. All of it. Everything, every renovation ever created by other presidents. This is the first time that a president is using his money / his donors' money to build something. It's not costing the taxpayers a dime. So there's your setup.
Yeah, that's really good. I have some inside exclusive looks at what the new ballroom looks like. I want to get your guys' opinion on this. What do you think?
Oh yeah. Dun 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 dun.
And that's a copyright claim.
And also, to be honest with you guys, that's great because it's good for the environment, because from what I'm hearing, they've only got to use one of the reactors for it to keep it going while they're heating it.
Nice. Oh, excellent. Listen, would I be surprised if the ballroom was this large? No, not at all. Like, this is the way Trump rolls. Now, of course, it's not going to be the Death Star, but that's pretty funny.
Oh, the ballroom is actually pretty large. Now, I was looking for an illustration. I saw an illustration earlier, and it does sort of dwarf the main house a little bit.
When you look at the entire complex, it looks, if you've been in front of the White House, it's not all house. I mean, there are other elements to it. There are other wings. And
do you know what made me laugh about this, guys, is the outrage I've seen this week about this. And yet last week we talked about Obama, who's literally designing something that looks like an Imperial Gestapo building. And there's not even anything mentioned about it.
It looks like something out of a video game that you have to somehow get to it's the final level of Wolfenstein 3D or something, dude.
Secret TIE fighter manufacturing facility.
Dude, it's crazy. Whoever thought up his presidential library museum thing, I don't know if they were going for, I don't know what they were going for. Modern? Was it a modern architecture thing, or were they purposely trying to make it look like a castle? Fortified castle in the middle of Chicago or whatever.
Yeah.
That's full of books of the dark arts in it.
It looks like Sauron's eye. It's so confusing.
There are a couple of facts about it. So the ballroom, the Trump East Wing ballroom is what it's going to be called. It's planned to be 90,000 square feet. So I don't know what building you could look for that's 90. That's a lot. That's big, by the way. 90,000 square feet.
Yeah, here's the model. I got it.
Pull up the model.
Pretty big. So there's the main house. There's the main house, and there's the ballroom. So yeah, it's big.
So what's interesting is the East Wing, which was originally constructed in 1902 by Teddy Roosevelt, and basically it was the East Terrace, and it served as the entryway for guests arriving by carriage. It had a coat room, a gallery, a circular driveway. So, we're not really losing anything extraordinarily historic. It typically, what's that TV show? You got The West Wing, right? Your staff is usually in the East Wing, right? They've got, staff is over there.
Yeah.
They got
First Lady staff. Plus, they have small parties there. We know what's funny is the East Wing actually did, and this is not a joke, it identified as a ballroom or a party room for a long time. It's just not big enough to actually do good large events, because it's
right. And they were going out into the lawn, right? So they were setting up these big tents.
Yeah, big tents.
And people were walking in their high heels, and they were going out. And if it was raining, you're still outside. It's an outside venue. It was just a really
$30 million a year was spent on events. $30 million a year, which means that the ballroom will essentially pay for itself in 8 to 10 years.
Right, but here's the thing: it's paying for itself, but taxpayers didn't even pay for it.
Right.
So now the taxpayers are actually making money every year.
Right. So the taxpayers paid the $30 million a year for their galas and all that nonsense, and now they're not going to have to. So it's a win-win. The people that are freaking out are the same people that were like, "Oh yeah, tear down the George Washington statue because he owned slaves." Those same people had no problem with removing history or whatever. But now they're like, oh no, the East Wing is so historic. Well, it's actually not. It's the most underused, least important part of the White House, and it was already used for parties as it was. It was just, we're not big enough to actually accomplish anything.
No,
he's going to be when it's built, he's going to wind them up further. He's going to take a golf buggy from the White House all the way across to the ballroom just to wipe people up, and it'll be the same. It'll be like, he's driving a golf buggy indoors. He's got no respect for the White House. He's a horrible man.
Well, so somebody's asking here when it's going to be completed. So there's no like official date of completion, but basically Trump's looking for sometime before January 2029. He wants to, of course, it be finished before he leaves office. So,
of course he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some interesting, another thing that I'm so fatigued by are the leftists that were taking the quote from the press secretary out of context. And there was a moment where she said, this is President Trump's most, this is his main concern right now is the ballroom. But if you look at the entirety of the quote, it was in reference to the construction at the White House and renovations. But people are using that to say he's only concerning himself right now with the ballroom. No. In reference to renovations at the White House, this is his primary concern.
Dude, you can't win to lose. I mean, here's the problem. Like Chuck Schumer said yesterday, oh, Trump doesn't care about the government shutdown. He's gallivanting around. I mean, he's literally going to Asia to meet with Xi Jinping and try to solidify all of our trade partners over there. I mean, it's just the bullshit that comes out of, the opposite party. They're willing to say anything, absolutely anything that is a lie. I mean, just think you're not going to care. And we just have to assume that everything that comes out of their mouth is poop, because essentially it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found this interesting too. The GOP posted this, and so I had to confirm it, okay? Because I don't just trust the GOP.
Thank you.
But the DNC did post this. They posted how elaborate the inside of the ballroom was. But the picture they got was from the Buckingham Palace. And what happened was, this is the East Wing of the Buckingham Palace. So someone Googled East Wing, and like the first few results on Google is what they used as their image to complain about it.
I argue it's going to look more ornate than this, frankly.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of Trump's towers, buildings? Have you seen the Oval Office lately? It's like gold now.
Yeah. My problem is that, like, I feel like if this was a Republican doing this, if this was a GOP that posted this, I mean, this was all anyone talked about for like an entire day, how silly and stupid they are. Yeah. But this was just brushed under the rug immediately. No one talked about it. There was no articles, nothing. And this is like a major issue. Like, you literally picked a building that's not even in this country. Like,
and to be fair, that it doesn't even look like that anymore because it's full of illegal migrants now. So they're all smoking weed and just like setting fire to the paintings.
Welcome to the UK.
Yeah. There's also another thing I wanted to address. I don't know why I say addressed. What's wrong with me? This is CNN, which, by the way, our next topic is going to be about how CNN is about to be working for Larry Ellison. So stay tuned for that.
We'll see.
If they get that buyout. But in the meantime, CNN is just as insufferable as ever. Listen to this clip, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Here we go.
This is almost twice the size of the actual White House mansion. And no one is talking about who is going to fund the upkeep, who's funding the lights being on, who's funding the staff and the furniture. They're talking.
We've been focused on them raising private money to build it and not about the long term.
And the taxpayers are going to end up paying that, and it's going to be an extremely expensive endeavor.
Let me add to what you're.
This is almost twice.
Okay, what do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about that?
Well, there was a wing there before with light bulbs and office furniture and stuff before that.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, wait. So were we not paying for the maintenance and light bills and all that stuff for the previous East Wing? Also, what about the almost $30 million we were spending in rentals and tents and all this crap when every time they have to throw a party that needed more than 20 people? Right. I mean, these people are on some. The crazy part is this: is Megan Hayes knows this. She's not stupid. She knows there was ovary and East Wing there. She knows that they were already paying to throw events every year. She knows this, but she purposely misrepresents the information in order to try to get some kind of thing that they can make people angry about, because now it's common knowledge that the entire thing is funded by private donors. So they need something to complain about. So she misrepresents the data, and she gives you something that you can hold on to that makes you angry. She knows that, which means that she's an evil person.
She's a typical political hack is what she is. But here's the reality is that this ballroom's not going to be used every day. Unlike whatever was operating in the East Wing before took constant electricity, updates. So you're not going to need to change or update this ballroom very often. It's going to be used probably once every couple of weeks, once a month.
No,
maybe?
Once every couple months.
You guys have got it wrong. CNN, what they're pointing out here is continuously there's going to be 2 people using the ballroom 24 hours a day, just dancing. They're not allowed. They're employed. Yeah. They're like, we've been doing this for hours. We're tired. We need sleep. No, you will carry on dancing.
They're going to be renting it out. They're going to rent it out for raves.
Isn't it?
I tried to find that picture of someone photoshopped like a Trump tower on the East Wing. I couldn't find it, but it was really funny when I saw it.
I wouldn't be surprised if Trump tried to rent it out, though. Honestly, like I could see him like, look, we're going to raise money. We're going to raise tax money. We're going to rent out the ballroom to events. You want to have a concert? Come to the ballroom. I could see him doing that, but yeah.
You know what? Next administration, when they're in there, they'll be doing presidential duties. You'll look over to the ballroom and it'll be presidential ballroom sponsored by Trump. All across it.
They're going to do the next UFC fight there, or golden, or boxing.
Yeah. I heard they were going to do like a UFC fight at the White House or something on the White House lawn.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I can't wait to see liberals' heads explode over that one.
For real.
Hey, you remember when UFC was actually like loved by a lot of leftists, and now it's not. All right, so we don't got much more to say about this. Like, bottom line is, like, say you want ammunition to go out there and talk to these insane leftists when they complain about literally everything. Let me give you guys some tips. The White House has been, for over 100 years, they've been making modifications to the White House. Like Shane said.
Well, longer than that, actually, but yeah.
Longer, right. So here's some ones to note. All taxpayer funded. Teddy Roosevelt built the West Wing. Taft made the executive Oval Office. FDR added the entire East Wing, including an indoor pool for himself. Truman gutted the entire White House and made major renovations. Nixon added a bowling alley. Obama added a basketball court. And Trump is building a ballroom. The only difference between all these things is that the ballroom is privately funded. In fact, if you go back and look at the cost for all these things, they all cost more than what the ballroom cost. And estimates for the ballroom.
And the only official argument they have is, we don't like it because Trump is doing it.
Right.
That's their only argument.
No reason to have an issue with this whatsoever.
There is no other reason to argue it.
Howling into the wind. That's what they're doing.
That's it. That's what they're doing, man. Right. All right. Can't wait to see it. Those giant gold MAGA Trump logo on it. It's gonna be great. All right, let's switch some gears here. First, I want to represent this cast member for 22 months. It's Jurin. I didn't even recognize this guy.
It's Euron. 81.
Yeah, top guy.
All right, he says, I've been waiting for a stream that's online for the past 20 minutes. Well, I'm glad you're here now. Yeah, I guess you have to refresh the page when it starts.
Does that mean like it didn't like go live for him?
Yeah, so if you're sitting there if you're like on the page early, you might have to refresh the page depending on your settings. Especially if you have ad blocker, it won't automatically refresh. So
sorry about that, you're on, but we're glad you're here.
Sorry, man.
Can I just say as well, if you haven't already, make sure you like the show and subscribe. We enjoy doing this. We always have a lot of fun with you lot in there. So we just want to keep making more and having a good time. So yeah, by all means, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It'd be great to have you with us.
Yeah,
Brian, show them the new logo. I love the new logo you made for our show.
Do I have a new logo?
Yeah, it's on Twitter. You like, we better be the only one that can make it.
I made a new logo?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Am I crazy?
Whatever, maybe logo's the wrong word. New look.
Yeah, image.
Look in the
in the group.
There you go.
Oh,
right there.
in the group. Oh, I see it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, here we go.
This is nice.
It's not a logo.
Yeah. Whatever, dude. Okay, look. Yeah. I am not graphically.
Yeah, sorry. We've added our favorite Brit to the members wallpaper here.
Walter White. That's what I'm talking about.
Welcome, John. Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you very much. That's me flying over to the US.
Somehow Shane looks even more swole than he did before. My character looks exactly the same, but Shane has much broader shoulders, which is cool.
I wish I was that skinny.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get there.
I love it. It's like Shane's like there in that image, and he's basically going, we're going to do it my way. You're both going to follow the rules.
I like that, John. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of getting swole, I've been on the carnivore diet, boys. The carnivore diet. Okay.
You look like you're losing weight.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm losing weight. Oh, yeah. Let me give you guys some insight on the carnivore diet. I can't speak today. Sorry. So the carnivore diet is sort of like keto, extreme keto. And if you don't know what keto is basically more protein than carbohydrates, right? So most of the time, keto would be about 70% protein to about 30% carbohydrates. And if you don't know the difference between carbohydrates and protein, then, just fast forward this about a minute because I can't explain that. Basically, your body needs both carbohydrates and protein to live. Protein it gets from your muscles, carbohydrate it gets from your fat. So if you have a lot of fat, like I do, if you deprive your body of carbohydrates, but you feed your body protein, your body will not touch your muscle, and instead it will go for that refined carbohydrates that your body has already produced, called your fat. And that refined...
Does the body good, baby, yeah.
Yeah, that refined carbohydrate, it's sort of like, supercharged nitrous. And it's interesting because when you first go on keto, for the first few days, you have something called a keto flu, where you're tired, you're sickly, your nose is running. You feel like you have the flu, literally. And then about 4 days into it, your body hits something called ketosis. This is why it's called keto. It's where your body flips the switch.
Your pee gets really, really yellow.
Yeah, and smelly. Well, your body flips the switch and it goes, all right, you're not giving me carbohydrates in your diet anymore, so I need to pull it from your body. And it literally flips that railroad cart where it starts pulling it from your fat. Let me tell you something. When that happens, the surge of energy you get is like crack.
And Brian would know.
Yes, I was. Okay. Listen, come get my pillow for $45.95. Listen. So when you get that ketosis, you get this surge of energy because the fat, the carbohydrates your body is looking for, and your fat is refined. It's already been created. It's right. Your body's already broken it down and created the perfect, carbohydrate for you to fuel for you to use, and you get this surge of energy, right? Well, the crazy thing is when you're on carnivore diet, you're depriving your body even more, and you're almost like 90% protein to like 10% carbohydrates.
And for only $9.99, you can get the BRANE Show diet today.
Let me finish. So when you hit that extreme energy boost, I'm talking about you don't sleep for like 2 days. Your body is flying high.
I want to take some of that stuff.
And I have been on, I've been on carnivore for about a month, and I hit the ketosis mark about 3 weeks ago. And so I'm having like weird sleep issues where I can't sleep at night, or I can't stay awake during the day. My whole cycle is just effed up, dude.
Your wife's like, why aren't you asleep? I am. My eyes are just open.
Yeah, dude. My wife is like, why are you sleeping with your eyes open? I'm like, I don't know.
Brian's wife and kids are going into the bathroom, and it's like they're wearing safety goggles because his urine's so bright.
My urine is radioactive, like yellow, neon green yellow. It smells like piss. Like
we don't want it.
That's bad.
Brian's family's moved in with Shane while he goes through this process.
It's like acid when you cut one of the xenomorphs open. It's like if I don't get the toilet, it just makes smoke on the ground. It's like burning through the porcelain. No, I mean, but listen, I implore you, if you are struggling if you've ever struggled with your weight, I guarantee you will be able to lose weight with the carnivore diet. Now, will you be able to keep it off? Probably not. You know, that's self-control. But you will 100% be able to lose it, and you'll have energy the entire time. And it doesn't cost money. You don't want to get special things or books or whatever. You just have to eat a lot more meat than you do everything else.
It takes about a week for your body to adjust.
It takes about a week, yeah.
Yeah. No, I was going to say I might try that because I said to you, Brian, I've started with a personal trainer about 3 weeks ago, so I need to sort of add that in because
you got to add a lot of protein when you're working out. Yeah. So your body breaks down, like your body needs protein and carbohydrates. So when you're working out, you need more energy. Guess where's going to get the protein? From your muscles. I have a vegan friend of mine who tells me I can never gain any muscle mass. I'm like, you don't eat protein. You eat so little protein. Like, yeah, but I work out all the time. Like, you don't understand how the body works. You need protein to build muscles. You are depriving your body of protein, which means your body needs to take it from your muscles. No matter how much you work out, it's not going to help you. You need protein.
Yeah, it's great. Not a segment I was expecting, but good stuff.
Yeah,
I just wanted to get that out there. Okay, I'm trying to lose weight. Well. I'm on carnivore. Don't tempt me with pizza anymore. I'm getting tired of those Discord messages.
Motivating.
Do you know my family laugh at me because they do? Sorry, Shane. I come in and the trainer has basically said, right, to start off, we're going to do 15% incline on the treadmill. I do that. Then he's got me doing sled pushes constantly, walking the entire gym car park with doing lunges with weights. And I walk in like I've been riding a donkey for 6 days. I literally look like someone's asking me if I'm on laxatives or something because I've got a bad look.
Well, it'll work, though. Keep it up.
Oh, speaking of John with his bad looks, let's talk about the UK. And we're going to talk about the UK first, then we're going to go on to Zohan Mugwaguruni. First, let's talk about the UK, though, because the UK is facing some serious issues. And I believe that John was right when he messaged me, basically. He said, look, you think this is stopping here? It ain't stopping here, bro. And so I did want to show some of the videos you sent me. And this is what it looks like in the UK right now. So tell me if you guys can hear it. Okay, here we go. This is what it looks in the UK right now. I don't know where this is in the UK, so you're going to have to give me some commentary. Okay, this is London. This is London. Okay. Yeah. Real quick. When you think about London, like England, London, right? When you, as someone in America, think about London, what do you picture in your head? Do you picture Big Ben?
Lots of pubs.
Fish and chips. Yeah, pubs, right? You feature cars driving on, no offense, John, the wrong side of the road. You picture...
Hate you.
Classic England, right? London, Doctor Who. That's what I picture. So when I see this and more videos I'm going to show you, starts to freak me out a little bit. And I think you should be freaked out too. And this is not xenophobia. This is not racism. This is none of that stuff. This is straight up what I think is a covert invasion of immigrants. And because once these immigrants have reached their very specific mass where they outnumber the people around them, they shift their entire culture to what they came from, what they ran from, versus what they came to. Now here's some videos. This is London. Notice the flag. Flag's this random dude over here wearing a NASA sweater. All right, bro. Yeah. Represent, dude. To the moon. marching in the middle of the street. Okay, there's one. Let me show you guys the next one here. And again, it's not xenophobia. I just want to be really clear. This is a scary thing that we are witnessing in the UK, and I believe we're going to witness this here in the United States next. If you look at places like Michigan and now New York, it's already happening. Here we go.
What are we marching for?
The wild thing is, it doesn't even look like London anymore. It looks like there's graffiti everywhere. It looks trashy, bro. I don't know what to say about it. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. I mean, to give you the background on this, what happened was the UK Independence Party, who they wanted to do a protest through this area. And strangely enough, the Metropolitan Police and the Mayor's Office effectively said, no, you can't do that. And then all of a sudden, they still went ahead anyway. But all of a sudden, these counter-protesters turns up, no condemnation from them whatsoever. The fact that they're covered up with face masks, hiding what they look like. If that was on the other side of the fence, you know full well that we would be being called far right now for doing that. In fact, we're called far right for just walking through the town, quite frankly, without face masks on.
Mm-hmm.
And it, for me, I'm actually a downer at the moment because I actually think we're done as a country. I think we're lost. I don't think we're coming back from this. I don't think you can come back from it. I mean, it's not like, you know,
Johnny being blackpilled is not a normal look for you. You're usually pretty optimistic.
And we watch our Stargates, and, you know, there's that episode about the foothold scenario. This is way beyond a foothold now. This is, as you were saying a few minutes ago, they have effectively, they've got enough numbers now where they're basically starting to dictate what they want. I saw someone else the other day who put a video out who basically said, we're tired of people not respecting Islam. And we're gonna deal with you if you don't do that. And for me, I've restrained from saying it, but the trouble I find is you look at what's going on, not just in the UK, you look at Germany, you look at France, you look at other Western countries, you look at what's happening in Sweden. It is absolutely disgraceful that what these politicians have done, whichever side of the fence, because there's the Conservatives in the UK and Labour, they've both allowed this to happen for decades. Yeah. We didn't vote for this, and yet we're dealing with it. They will swan off into the woodwork, and at best, I think we're headed for a civil war now. I really do. I can't see any other result than going direct for that.
Yeah, but could you even win a civil war? Do you even have the numbers for it anymore?
We've still got the numbers at the moment, but again, they've said before, when you hear some of their preachers, they basically say that we will conquer you by the sword or by the womb. It's about reproduction.
Yeah.
So if we have about 2 kids, they have about 7 kids. You know, it's a numbers game, isn't it?
Well, and you got to remember, you know, the whole reason this is happening is because this is the problem with democracy. And you think it'd be weird to hear somebody say this is the problem with democracy, but the problem with democracy is sometimes things happen that you don't like. So what happens is when you get all these people coming into your country, all of a sudden you now have a new group of voter base. So you've got politicians who are going to try to capitalize on the fact that you've got all these people. And now in order for you to become popular, in order for you to become powerful, you're going to harness into this voter base so that you can retain your selfish power, which is what's happening. So that's exactly what's happening in your country. And the birth rate thing is no joke. Like, you know, what's going to happen is it's happening here in the United States as well. You know, the white people aren't having very many kids, but the people who are of other ethnic origins are having a lot of kids because that's the way they're brought up. And
let me be clear, we don't care if people that aren't white have kids. That's fine. My problem is that it's not the color of their skin; it's the culture that they bring into the system. Someone in one of the comments says the problem with where they came from was that they weren't in charge. That for them, the problem was that they weren't in charge. And here's the problem with. I'm sorry, we're gonna get a phone call. Here's the issue with
one of the Winchesters. That was.
Yeah. Here's the issue with that culture. That culture is entirely incompatible with the West. It's entirely incompatible with Western culture. It's incompatible with freedom. It's incompatible with equality. It's incompatible with progress. It's incompatible with the future. That culture is barbaric in comparison. It is years behind, hundreds of years behind. It belongs nowhere near modern civilization. We've tolerated it because of something I like to call, and I've heard it before, toxic empathy. We go, well, we need to respect other people's beliefs and other people's cultures and other people's opinions. And we've turned that respect into like, there should be respect in allowing them to exist, sure. But we've turned that respect into trying to applaud, promote, and uplift these bad ideas, bad cultures, and bad ideologies. And they are bad. 100% bad. Guess what?
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the LGBT movement, but I would never in 100 million years consider throwing one off the top of a building or stoning one in the street or beheading someone that had that wanted to sleep with the same sex or someone that whatever. I would never hurt an LGBT person, but guess what? In Islam, they do.
You wouldn't, but also okay. So I gotta call it a BS here. Okay, so here's a couple of things. Number one, you can't have it both ways. So if you're going to have a democracy, then the majority of the people rule. Period.
Problem is, though, there's a problem with that.
Let me make my point.
Okay.
Christianity, for the longest time, they used to stone people, bro. They used to kill people for their sexuality, for their belief system. So
right, go back a couple thousand years. You're right.
But it's
this is 2025. It's not the same thing.
Right. Okay. So the Muslim religion, Islam, has not made that adjustment. So Christianity, if you read the Bible, what does it tell you? Most of it is love and stuff, but there are certain things that are intolerable. So, but we've managed to adjust that. So perhaps the same thing will happen with Islam as it becomes more global and gets out of the Middle East. You're going to have these pockets of people who are going to try to hold on to their, but as it becomes infused with more people, that's what democracy is. So you have to fight bad ideas with good ideas. Okay. And the people have to respond and get behind the good ideas and press down the bad ideas. The real problem we have these days in the UK, in the United States, is too many people are being silent. Too many people are just willing to accept the status quo and hope that, well, I really hope my neighbor does something about it because, I'm like kind of busy, I'm comfortable, I don't really want to do anything. And I just hope it kind of works itself out. Well, the problem is it doesn't always work itself out. Okay, go ahead, Brian.
I was going to say, guys, as well, quickly. I mean, I get what Shane's saying, and I respect Shane because Shane is a great optimist. And I think
thanks, John.
Yeah, that's all right, brother. But I think the trouble I've got now, and you're right, it should work that way, and there should be a democratic process. But in this country, the trouble you've got is people have followed the democratic process for decades, and they've been repeatedly ignored by the parties that have been in power who have done this without consent. And then they get to the point where when you start getting fed up with it, I'll give you some examples. Yesterday, Keir Starmer, or Weasel Boy, announced that he's giving £110 million to the Muslim community for protection so that they're safe in their community.
For votes.
I'm sorry. So let me get this straight. Over the last 20 years, how many non-Muslim Islamic radical terrorist incidents we had in the United Kingdom? Very few. Now, what I would also say is the fact that we had a head teacher. I don't know if you guys caught it, but last year there was a horrible adult that went and killed kids in a school in the UK, young kids. The head teacher at the inquiry yesterday basically said that she was told to basically tone down what she'd said about this person when he was at school, when she'd referred it, because they didn't want the stereotype of a black dangerous individual. They were told to tone it down to be PC. And what happened? That person went on and killed kids. We also had, a few weeks ago, you might have seen as well, guys, we had massive protests outside a hotel in the UK, in Epping, because a young girl was sexually abused by an illegal migrant. What happened was they came out, the Labour government and the counter protesters, by saying that these were all far right people, and it was proven that this person actually did it. So much so the Labour government took a court order to keep the hotel open. That same person who got 5 years for what he did, the government and their incompetent justice system, they released him yesterday by accident. So he's currently on the run in the UK.
So let me ask you a question, John. Are there more Muslims in the UK than there are, I don't want to say
non-Muslim
people, because it's not white, but
non-Muslim,
like
non-Muslim.
Classic. There's more non-Muslim, right?
At the moment, yeah.
Okay. John, take back your fucking country. Okay. And
not
let me tell
easy.
You, listen, I know it's not that easy, but let me tell you what, if you want change, and I'm not putting this on you, John, if you want change, it is not going to be easy. It's going to be painful. Change is painful. If you want to save something, then it's going to be not easy.
Here's the problem.
But you have to do it. Go ahead, Brian.
Here's the problem. First off, toxic empathy is an actual thing. And there are plenty of non-Muslims, both in America and in the UK, that don't see anything wrong with Islam. They bury their head in the sand. And in the same sentence of saying we must be empathic to these people, we must be accepting, diversity is our strength, etc., 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 they're allowing, and I'm sorry, I'm going to steal this from you, Chris, they're allowing their toxic empathy to become suicidal empathy because they don't know how incompatible it is. The same people, the same LGBT blue-haired lesbians in New York fighting for free Palestine and marching with Islam protesters, they don't realize that if they were in their country where Islam had the numbers, they would have been stoned in the street. And when you talk about Christianity, we're talking about thousands and thousands of years ago, not 2 years ago, not 2 months ago, not 2 weeks ago. Right. But as early as 2 weeks ago, I read a report how a tourist went into, I believe it was Iraq, as part of some Peace Corps thing. And because they were gay, a lesbian couple, they were literally stoned and beheaded. This is the world we're living in right now. This ideology right now is barbaric and savage. They are completely incompatible with freedoms. But there are white liberals and non-Muslim liberals that think there's nothing wrong with it. They literally bury their head in the sand. And when it comes to voting, they are convinced by media propaganda who would rather have the numbers. They would cut their nose off and spite their face. They would cut their future off to get one more shot at 4 more years or however many years it is.
Power and greed, bottom line.
It's corruption. And so in their mind, they can appeal to the Muslim, I'm going to say it, the Muslim horde in order to get another term on their sheet. To keep their job for another. And in the meantime, what's happening is they are losing their country by the numbers.
Right. And so what you have to do is, and a lot of people listen, and for people who are religious and your relationship with God is your relationship. But let me tell you something. It needs to be country before God. Okay. Because you need to make sure in America, our country for the longest time was aligned. We were essentially a Christian nation, right? If you go back to 1973, I believe 90% of the country identified as Christian. Okay. So our country was aligned with our God, let's say. But the moment that you start to get this 50-50 thing, or all of a sudden we got different religions fighting for power, all of a sudden now it has to be country first. So the people, John, who want to see the UK, be the the strong country it has always been, the global leader, the prideful nation. Those people are going to have to get louder, and they're going to have to start having movements, right? And I know you're going to be fighting against the police, and you're going to be fighting against politicians, and you're going to be fighting against the public narrative, but it has to be done. Otherwise, you're right. What's going to come forth in 20, 30, 40 years is some sort of weird conglomeration of Islamic classic UK lifestyle. And if you don't push back, that's what's going to end up happening, because these people want freedom too. They're also escaping from oppression. Okay. And now they want to practice their religion, which they believe into
no, not all of them, bro. That's not true.
Why do you think they're going to the UK, bro? Why do you think they're coming to America?
No. Hold up. Let's set something straight. No.
I've been to these places.
Let's set it straight. They're walking through other places to get to the UK. They're going through other countries that they can completely practice their religion in to get to the UK, because UK gives free shit.
That's what I'm telling you. That's exactly what I'm saying.
So they're not fleeing oppression.
Yeah, no, they're living in fucking Yemen and these other places.
Yes, but they are going through other countries where they wouldn't be oppressed to get to the UK.
Every one of those fucking countries is oppressive. Okay, I've been to them, so I'll tell you right now.
So they're leaving their oppressive Sharia law countries to come to another country and practice Sharia law. Does that make any sense to you?
But you're practicing it under what you want to do. Why do people come to America? For religious freedom. They left the oppression.
So they leave the oppression of the Islamic ideology to then bring their Islamic ideology here. Does that make any sense?
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you one.
I'll practice it the way they want to.
Go ahead, John.
I'll give you one example, guys. Okay, it was in the press within the last couple of weeks, and there was a guy who was an illegal migrant that came into the UK. They allowed him in, and he basically, on video, made a threat to kill Nigel Farage, who is the leader of Reform in the UK. So he got he got sentenced. He got 5 years, but effectively they're going to be deporting him. Literally, he got allowed into this country. He has Kalashnikovs tattooed on his cheeks.
Oh, jeez.
Right? And it turns out that he came from Sweden. He'd got a kid in Sweden. He'd also been convicted of several occasions in Sweden, and he was coming to the UK. Now, going back to what you guys were saying a few minutes ago, one of our big problems is, yes, it's the benefit system, because this government in particular, and the previous Conservative government, because of the European Court of Human Rights, they seem to think that we need to give these people benefits the second they walk in.
Right.
And that's why we're almost going bust, because we can't afford it. People are working. Our taxes are going to go up again in the next few weeks when the budget comes out. And yet the people working are paying for this, and they wonder why people are getting so fed up with it. And I think you're right, Shane. I think there is coming a point where everybody needs to stand up, go on the marches, go on the protest, stand up peacefully and say, no, we're taking our country back. We're not going to do an insurrection unless they cause that insurrection.
That's exactly it, John. People need to show their faces. When the politicians realize that, well, look, there's my voter base. Who wants to really be in power, right? The person who wants to be in power is the person who's going to get the most votes. Right now, the silent majority doesn't look very appealing. That's why they're holding on to these. Go ahead, Brian.
Another problem is the word racism has a ton of weight.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
When you call someone racist, you are diminishing that person, that group, those people. You are abandoning them initially, especially as a politician. The second someone labels someone as racist, bigot, Nazi, the second someone labels you, whether it's true or not, second you get that label, you become less valuable as a voter. You become less valuable as a politician. Your opinions become less valuable. This is straight out of the Marxist playbook from like 1954. The second you label someone an ist, they become less valuable. That is why the playbook is always the same. Well, we want to make sure that we stay in power. So the first thing they do is they use the term Islamophobe, racist, insert ist here. Notice I've never heard an ist for Buddha, Buddhist. I've never heard a Buddhist or Christianist or Catholicist. I've never heard or Christianophobe or Buddhistophobe or Hinduophobe. I've never heard those before, but I've heard Islamophobe my entire life.
Well, of course, yeah.
Well, because they have to. They need to get that liberal vote. So what they do is they come in.
It also is true. So you're right. There's no word for it. But there was Islamophobia, especially after 9/11 in this country. So and listen, even if you weren't,
I'm Islamophobic right now.
Well, yeah, right. So even if you weren't
100%, I'm afraid of that religion. It is the most divisive, savage religion, and is gradually taking over the entire planet. And if you disagree with me, look around. Look around.
Do you know what I find?
You're not gonna practice that in this country, just so you know. Okay, so I know there are some laws, but you're not going to be practicing that savage religion in our country.
Look at Michigan. Look at Michigan.
What are they practicing? I haven't seen any. Are they killing people up there?
Not yet. Not yet. Michigan is quietly becoming not all of Michigan. I believe it's something with a D. I always forget.
But I've seen the video you're on about.
Yeah, there's a city in Michigan that is gradually becoming more and more Sharia law, to the point where, as an American citizen, you can't even file a noise complaint without getting the cops, who are all Muslims, on your case. It is becoming a Sharia law place.
We are a country of laws, though. So, I mean, sure, they could be. Yeah, could Sharia law
Dearborn, thank you.
Could Sharia law be, I guess, lionized as actual law? I mean, I guess it technically could, but as of right now, that is not the case. So I hear what your fear is, but the reason why we had we didn't have Islamophobia until 9/11 in this country. People weren't afraid of it. You know, all the terrorist attacks that occurred in the world took place on John's side of the pond. It wasn't here we had to worry about bombings and a bunch of stuff. And then all of a sudden 9/11 happened and we became fearful. And that's really where the term Islamophobia truly began. Now, if you're a Christian living in those countries, they don't really have a word for it, but you better be afraid for your life, because a lot of those countries, they're going to kill you for being Christian. So you do have that. It's just not a political thing, because there's no freedom over there. That's why there's no word for it.
No, I mean, there's no word for, as far as I know, someone can correct me, I don't know a word for any phobe for any religion other than Islam. Does anyone? Does anyone know of a single word for any other religion other than Islam?
In the Western world?
In the English language, is there a word for Islamophobia in reference to Buddhist, Hindu, Catholics, Christians, Scientologists?
Those people, bro.
What?
Those people aren't blowing up buildings. Nobody's afraid of them. They haven't created a word for it.
Thank you, Shane.
Tell me the Christian or the Buddhist or the...
No, you just proved my point. What you just said, you just proved my point.
No, I'm saying, you're saying that why is there no word for it?
There's no word for it because there's no reason to have a word for it.
But also, you can't lop in 100% of the Islamic religion.
No, but
category.
It's the ideology. Yeah, I'm not saying all Muslims are bad. I'm saying that the ideology...
I know what you're saying, bro.
No, I didn't. I said the ideology is backwards. Let's be clear. In order to be a good Muslim, you need to be a bad person.
For everybody?
Yes, because their ideology calls for savage behavior.
Only for a certain percentage.
No. Their ideology is not compatible with Western freedoms, which means that the moment because they are not following their entire ideology, they are effectively quote unquote bad Muslims in Islam. In order to be a good Western Muslim, you have to be a bad Muslim as far as your ideology is concerned. Yeah, in order to be a good Muslim as far as your ideology is concerned, you are effectively a terrorist.
It's the same thing as Christianity.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Listen, the Bible specifically says that gay is not okay.
No. Hold up. There are plenty of scriptures that no. You don't want to fuck me on theology, homie. When Jesus came into the New Testament, he said, "I'm not here to do away from the Old Testament, but to fulfill it." The whole point was that you no longer need to make sacrifices, cut off hands of thieves, and put thieves, idolaters to death. Mm-hmm. The second he became the ultimate sacrifice, Christianity changed. It became compatible with Western progress. The moment the New Testament came into being, there is no New Testament for the Quran.
My point is not all are accepted. The same thing with the Muslim religion, right? They have the same problem, right? The same problem. They believe that they're the only true religion. They also believe that their women need to be, covered. They have all these different things that
exactly. It's not compatible. They don't have a New Testament. They don't have anything to update their thousand-year-old ideology that is not compatible with the West or with freedoms or with equality.
All of it. You see what I'm saying?
That is all of it. That's the entire ideology. There's nothing else.
Yes, when you come to the West, you're going to have to make changes. That's what Christianity did.
And that's what I said. In order to be a good Western Muslim, you have to be a bad Muslim ideology-wise.
Sure, absolutely. Which is why.
But don't equate that to Christianity, because you can be a full-on Christian and not water it down whatsoever.
You can be a full-on Christian, but you're a bad Jew. You know what I'm saying?
Can I
go back? No. Jew is different. Jew is the first 5 books.
Yes.
It's not the same thing.
Jewish people came first. Christianity came later.
There's nothing in the Torah that tells you to kill people that don't agree with you. Nothing. Nothing.
I don't know enough.
Nothing in the Torah tells you to lie in order to take over a place and make it your own. Nothing.
I don't know enough about the Quran to be able to speak smartly about it, but I will say that there's a reason why it's the biggest religion in the world. Okay, it's because, and it's not all about hate.
It's subversive, bro. It plays to the lowest common denominator, and unfortunately, the more people, the less IQ. I'm sorry to say, bro. The more people, the less IQ, and so it plays to that lowest common denominator, and it rules with fear and with indoctrination from a very young age.
100% of the religion.
It's a extremely subversive, dangerous religion that is slowly taking over the entire Western culture.
Can I just say as well, I just want to address John Billy in the chat. I respect you coming here and making your comments each week, but when you say the British guy is the most way off, well, you've made a mistake there straight away by saying the British guy. I live here. I'm seeing what is going on in this country. So for you to come in here and say the British guy is way off, perhaps you should come over here and stay for a while and see just how bad it is.
Yeah, it's rough.
That's what annoys me when people who don't know what is going on over here make comments like that. It's not. And do you know what? The other thing I was going to say, guys, that I really, really hate about these times, I'm not a racist person. I was brought up right. I always respected people. I never had a problem. But do you know what I hate now? Is when I go to the supermarket and there's a homeless guy that looks like he's from Africa and he sat there, I'm suddenly looking at him and my defenses go up. That's not because I'm racist. That's because I'm looking out for my family. And I said, this is what's happened in the UK. We've gone from a high trust society to an incredibly low trust society. I want the high trust society back.
Yeah.
That's what the problem is.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you know what, John? I'm with you, man. I want the high trust. I don't want to be constantly on guard whenever I see someone wearing a hijab or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy is I was not this passionate about this issue when I was in my 20s. I didn't care. I think most of us were raised this way. We were raised not to see anyone as different, but everyone as human. Right, Shane? I think you were raised to see everyone as human, right?
Absolutely.
So I was raised to see everyone as human. It didn't matter what the color of your skin was, what clothes you wore. At the most, we would make fun of you if you were wearing a weird haircut or something. But it was grade school, elementary, high school. Like, my friend group were a hodgepodge of Goonies, of people from all walks of life and all religions. There might have been nothing that we agreed on ideology-wise or culture-wise, except for the fact that we didn't like going to school and we liked comic books or whatever. But the older I got, the more I saw that divide happen. In no way did I ever care what someone's ideology is. But now, when I see my sister marry a Muslim guy, and she goes from being this extremely outspoken, almost feminist, very strong-willed, communicative, smiling person to someone I can't even get on the phone for like 3 years because her husband won't allow her to speak on the phone. When I see that, when I see someone that has been pulled into that world in the name of empathy and sort of, what's the word, tricked into believing in some kind of Sharia testament that it's better for them, better for their family, better for the generations, whatever. I see someone that has been brainwashed. And I know people go, oh, you're a Christian, you're brainwashed. Well, no, like I don't believe in everything the Bible says. I'm very, I understand. I look at what the Bible is and go, I recognize that it was a selection of books that were put together by a ruling class in the Catholic Church. I recognize that Catholicism started, after Christianity. I know the history of this. I can look at Christianity and say, this is the closest thing that fits what I believe in that makes me a better person. Do I need to make sure that you follow my rules? No. Do I need to demand that you follow by my ideology? No. The whole point is freedom. We live in a free country, a free society. I want to go back to what it was in the 90s when I didn't care what ideology, color, sex, or type of person you were, and all I cared about was what comic book you were reading.
Well, and you make a good point, but here you got to think of it like this. So Christianity's had a long time to grow, evolve, and change along with the freedoms of our country and other countries, John's country. But there was a time when Christianity was very strict and very, there were either things you had to follow, not quite as compassionate, even though you're supposed to teach compassion. It was controlled by political narratives. And when you look at, 90% of and listen, I don't know a lot about Islam. I've never studied it or researched it. And I don't necessarily know a lot of people like it. But what I do know is I hate the idea of lopping everybody into one thought process to be afraid of everybody. And the one I keep looking up is 90% of the people of Islam, of that religion, people believe in peace and they teach peace. And it's only about 10% that are making it violent and that are bastardizing it and changing.
That's the key, though.
The things that are changing the words in the Quran to make it politically suitable for their selfish power grabs. Okay, and so I think we should try to look at it like that and not try to be. And I know John's in a tough situation because he's fearful, right? But we need to be careful that we don't also put ourselves into a place where we become fearful of anybody who follows Islam or is Muslim.
I would love that to be true, Shane, but the problem is taqiya exists, where there's literally a scripture that says you should, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't know the scripture by heart, but you need to lie in order to spread the Islam. There's literally a scripture that tells you to not tell the truth, to twist the narrative, to present Islam as something other than it is in order to get it accepted by people until you have the numbers. There's
but to be fair, you can cherry pick any scriptures. And
I've read the entire Quran. I've compared it to books of the Bible, and I've tried to make those different processes. And I've tried to figure out how the history fits together, because at one point it was sort of a offshoot of sorts to Judaism, in a way. But the thing is, if you read it in its entirety, not cherry picking, just read it in entirety, there's stuff in there about peace for sure. But the context always goes back to peace by strength, and it's not peace in the sense that you're thinking. It's the peace in we can have peace when we're in power. There'll be peace. Guess what?
There is no New Testament for the Quran, bro.
That's the problem.
If you have an
no
old
Reformation.
If the Christians lived by the Old Testament, it would not be so pretty.
Oh yeah, it'd be the same. 100%.
There is no New Testament for the Quran. So I'm just saying, most people want to be peaceful. I know there's fear, and listen, maybe there's a reason to be fearful in a lot of situations. But I just want to be careful that we don't lop in, all people.
The reason I brought this up, though, was because seeing what was happening in the UK and then seeing what's happening here with Zohan, Mamdani. Did I say it right?
Zohan Mamdani.
Mamdani. here's the issue. I'm going to show you guys some videos of Zohan. And specifically when he is asked about Islam and 9/11 and Sharia law. And it seems like he is definitely practicing the same taqiyya I was referencing earlier. In fact, John, remember when your first Muslim got elected, how easy he was with his words, how clean and peaceful everything seemed. And then look at what's happening now. I want you to equate those two things. And here's this first thing I have of Zohan here. Here we go.
Sharia law. What does Sharia law have to do with this? I'm denouncing them. I'm asking you. I am running. I know, but I'm like, if you catch the point, you're gonna run from.
The guy asked him if he would denounce Sharia law.
Yeah.
And Zohan said, Sharia law? Like, question mark? He goes, you know Sharia law? He goes, yeah, of course. He goes, will you denounce it? And he goes, oh, I'm running for mayor. Basically saying I can't denounce.
He's not. Of course he's not. He's a politician, bro. He's not going to denounce anything that's going to get him less votes.
Sharia law is completely and totally incompatible.
You're right.
With our freedoms, our
You're
laws.
right. But if some of those voters, it's the same problem you got with both sides. You know, you've got the Democrats won't the BLM riots, right? Which were obviously wrong, right? They won't demonize what they did because they don't want to lose votes, even though we all fucking know it was wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this Sharia law is not compatible with our laws. And this is, by the way, practice your Sharia law, and your ass is going to be going to jail in our country.
Yeah.
So be careful. Be careful what you do, because you're going to get some people who are going to be like, these aren't the rules of our land.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Guess what? You can't punch your wife because she didn't put her hijab on, dude. That's
we
not
went
how it
through
works.
that in the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Save that for World War II. Okay. Yeah, that's been the rest.
Do you know what I like about this show, guys? Is the fact that, you know, we have these big debates and stuff, but what I love spending time with you two is that this is how it should be, and it should be out in the world. You can have disagreements like this, but then you go away, you know, with no problems whatsoever because you're talking with friends. It's great, you know.
Well,
Thanks for having me on.
yeah.
I'm pumped.
Well, this is actually a big problem. Like, if these conversations were allowed to be had on any show, on any platform, on any network, without someone forcing it one way or the other, then we'd probably have a lot less problems because all the bad ideas would be out in the sunlight.
Yes.
And they would have to compete with good ideas. Here's the thing. I'm sorry. Real quick. Here's the thing. If good ideas are allowed to coexist with bad ideas in the same room, with the same amount of spotlight, with the same light, guess what? Good ideas will always win, because reasonable people will see that good idea and they'll promote that and they'll denounce a bad idea.
And most people
the problem.
The best disinfectant for a bad idea is sunlight. But when you hide it and you don't allow good ideas to compete, when you don't allow contesting voices to be heard, the bad ideas grow like a cancer, like a toxic cancer, until it's so far gone that you've reached the point of no return, and people cannot be convinced to go back the other way. This is the problem with bad ideas and corruption and politicians. You need to have open discourse. There needs to be open, respectful discourse. And Shay and I have this conversation. Guys, you think Shay and I just do this for cameras? We don't. Shay and I have these arguments on a daily basis. Okay,
I've watched it. It's like UFC. Right. It's fantastic.
So we don't look. Sometimes I learn something from Shay and I go, well, I was wrong about that, you know, or at the very least, I'll see his point. But the whole point of a good relationship is being able to have an honest discussion. If you are too afraid to talk to a friend of yours about a competing ideology, then that person is not your friend.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's true.
100%.
Okay, let's finish this real quick. I'm gonna get super chats.
You have to denounce it. You denounce that. What is Sharia law?
I come from a political tradition Donald Trump describes as the enemy within. We came here to remake this state in the image of our people.
Police think about Zara, because I know that's like a little contentious.
What they think. You're a city employee. You get told what to do. Shut up. When did you get an opinion?
Crazy thing is, the Mug Club Undercover, they pulled the same thing that's one dude does. What's the guy? He was, I'm forgetting his name right now. The guy who always does the undercover where he has the honeypots that always talk to the politician and they get them to say the worst possible things. I'm forgetting his name right now. Someone in the chat tell me.
You're talking about James O'Keefe?
Jim O'Keefe.
Yeah.
So they did the same thing James O'Keefe did, and they got some like really smoking hot Latina. I remember the picture they showed. Like smoking hot, unbelievable, like top tier 10 Latina. To basically go to dinner with Zohan and to get all of his real thoughts. And the guy was pretty much bragging on how he could do whatever he wants. Their city employees are going to listen to him. Oh, it was so bad for him. But the problem is, guess what? They got that video, but no one ran it. Fox News didn't run it. CNN didn't run it. MSNBC didn't run it. ABC didn't run it. The HuffPo didn't run it. No one ran it. No one ran that footage. No one except for Mug Club.
And
Why
the people who do run it, it ends up in these bubbles. So we're all in these bubbles, right? So it never reaches the people that need to hear it. They never get to see it. The media, the bubbles that they're following are never going to run it. So that's the problem with the situation that we're in is we don't end up getting to see the things we need to see. And that's why national media needs to have this more balanced approach and we need to get completely out of politics. I don't know how we do it, but we need to remove politics from our media somehow.
I legitimately don't know how to do it either. There's some things I know shouldn't exist. Like pharmaceutical ads should not be running on networks. I know that for a fact because the second you allow pharmaceutical ads, then those news networks can no longer realistically investigate or talk negatively about pharmaceutical companies. So the problem is, I feel like the same thing must be the case for the DNC, the GOP politicians. The second they're able to buy all kinds of airtime and all kinds of attack ads and all that, that makes it very difficult for those networks to allow their news anchors and maybe honest people to actually discuss topics that would hurt that revenue stream. And that's the problem. Like the second capitalism becomes effectively a part of the picture, then corruption becomes absolute. And I'm not sure how to fight that other than you can't run political ads on TV. Can't run what?
Remove greed. It's the guys who own the networks are the problem because they have political affiliations. Right. And so when you own media, whether you're Hearst going all the way back to the 20s, who, let me tell you, they bent the political will through his newspapers. I promise you.
Right.
Okay. The same thing is happening today. But the problem is what it really is? Voices like ours, people who are not in the mainstream, people need to, you guys who are watching our show right now, okay, you're getting the unfiltered, maybe you're getting a little bit of our bias, but you're getting essentially the truth. We don't have any skin in the game. So we have no problem telling you exactly what the truth is.
Yeah, we have no skin in the game. We don't get paid for jack.
Right.
Yeah.
So
this is exactly what you see is what you get, baby.
Right.
And I was going to say, John Billy, just responding to you here, yeah, where you've said as well about you can't possibly have an opinion on British topics. I didn't say that. You can have as many opinions as you want. But what I will do is I'll push back on you when it's incorrect. That's what I'll do. And I'll always do that.
And you should be able to do that.
Yeah. Likewise, anyone should be able to do that with me.
So that's another big issue. Nothing is sacred, bro. All right. Irreverency needs to be the name of the game, especially when it comes to discussing topics. Irreverency. You should not, there should be no golden calf that you can't discuss. There should be no idol that you can't demolish. Anything that's bad or good or wrong or right should be able to be discussed. And if someone goes, well, I believe, I'm going to listen to you and go, well, yeah, okay, sure. If there's three responses, I agree, I don't know what you're talking about, I disagree. And you should be able to say, I disagree, and here's why. And there's nothing wrong with that.
But you have the ability to be unemotional about it. And that's part of the problem is a lot of us human beings, we have a hard time controlling our emotions. And, when you are a reasonable dude, let me say, or a reasonable girl, right? You might be able to hold yourself in check and remember, okay, we're having a conversation, everything's good. But some people get so upset and so emotional that it ends up, affecting the relationship. So yeah, you got to be able to do it like Brian can do it. He's a good compartmentalizer, right? And people need to practice doing it. But we have to be able to have these conversations. So, if you can't have these conversations, maybe you just don't have them. But
yeah, I guess if you cannot have a conversation without becoming emotional, then maybe you don't have the conversation. Yeah. The thing about the second you bring an emotional argument into a conversation, then that conversation is just going to spiral out of control. There's nothing to gain from an emotional argument. There's nothing to gain from being angry. In fact, the moment you become actually angry about something, you lose and this is actually, I read about this, I could be wrong, but I read that the moment you become angry, your IQ drops like 13%.
Oh, 100%.
So the moment you become angry, you become literally stupider.
I agree.
So basically, you're saying my intelligence has gone down significantly since Last Jedi, then?
That's right. As long as Kathleen Kennedy is in charge.
You can tell me to not get angry. That's crossing a line.
For me,
it was
the Doctor Who Christmas special when he made another TARDIS. I lost half my IQ. I was literally room temperature IQ for like 3 hours straight. I couldn't even pronounce words.
In his underpants.
In his underpants, right. All right, let's watch this. Then, what we're going to do is we're going to do any super chats that came in the past hour or whatever, and anything super chats that come in the next 10 minutes or 8 minutes or whatever it is. We're going to watch this video, comment on it, then we're going to do super chats, then move on to the next topic.
When we get a chance, you might want, we're just assuming everybody knows who Mamdani is and what's going on. So I do have a little bit of info about it.
Okay, yeah. You want to break it down before we watch this video?
Before the video? Okay, yeah. So if you guys didn't know, Zohan Mamdani is going to be the next mayor of New York. And that's kind of why this is such a big deal.
More than likely.
It's a done deal. Unless something really weird happens, Andrew Cuomo is not going to win. And this guy, he's just all the polling. He is just winning everything. So it's going to happen. And what's really interesting is he is a hardcore socialist. He is basically, he wants the government to pay for everything, the government to run everything. And guess what? We're going to get to test it in the biggest city in our country to see how it works. And so we can show whether or not hardcore socialism / communism fails right away through this guy. And what he is this is what makes it very interesting about Zohan Mamdani is he's basically was born with a golden spoon in his mouth. His mom was is an Indian producer, director into cinema, and she ended up buying a whole bunch of property. He was not born in this country. He was born in Uganda in 1991, and basically his family immigrated here, and they're very rich. And so what he's been doing is working for his mom, and he got into government service a little bit, and now he wants to be the mayor. So he really doesn't have any credentials to do anything.
Can I ask a question, Shane?
And he's going to change the way everything works.
Yeah, can I ask you a question specifically? Okay. Why? I know we don't allow the president of the United States to be born outside the United States. They have to be an actual citizen that was born here, right? They can't be naturalized.
Right.
Why do we allow any political office to be held by people that weren't born in the country?
It's a really great question. Probably because we are a nation of immigrants.
We were.
We are. We are a nation. From the beginning, we've only so many people can. People who first came here immigrated here. So unless you're a Native American, you are from an immigrant. You're an immigrant.
I get it. I get it. Yeah. Guess what?
Should have stuck with us, guys. Should have stuck with us.
Here's the deal. Right. Here's the deal, guys. If you go back far enough for any country, almost any country, they're a nation of immigrants. So let's just get that out of the way right now.
But we're more recent history. So the reason why, for example, Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't get to be governor of California because he's not born in the United States, if that rule exists. So what I think they wanted to do was just make sure. What they wanted to make sure is that whatever your local community is, the people in the local community have the ability to run the local community based on local government ideas and local ideas. Now, what happens is you got people who immigrate in here, right? And they have these ideas, but what they assumed was when we created this country that people who came to America were coming to America for a better way of life, to accept the American ideology.
Yeah.
But what has happened in the last 30, 40 years is people are illegally immigrating to this country overwhelmingly, and they aren't coming here for American ideals. They're coming here for American freedoms, riches, and they're bringing their own country's ideals. And that's why things aren't changing, or why things are so much more difficult.
So basically, we assumed people would have good intentions. And now here we are. Well,
yeah.
You know what they say about assumption?
They're making asses out of who and you? You and me?
Yeah, assuming. Yeah, the thing is this. I would vote for any president, Democrat, Republican, Independent, you name it, if they did two things, or if they suggested two things: term limits and no naturalized citizens running for government.
They're going to do more than have to suggest. They're going to have to do it, because a lot of them are going to say, "Yeah, I'm down with term limits," and then never vote for it. So,
yeah,
I get what you're saying, but I would vote for them based on their campaign promise alone.
Well, I promise you, Gavin Newsom is going to come in and be like, "Term limits, let's go."
You know what? If I'll say it right here. If Gavin Newsom, and I loathe Gavin Newsom. No, I'm gonna be real clear with you. Maybe you
that's your swear trigger word.
Maybe I'm getting pissed right now. I'm losing brain cells as we speak. I'm becoming stupider. I'm so happy that I started with something high enough to be able to still function. Gavin Newsom, I hate this person. I loathe this person. Gavin Newsom is the governor of my state, and everything about this person is slimy, disgusting, corrupt, Prince King-like mentality. I loathe Gavin Newsom, but if that motherfucker, I'm trying not
50% brain cells right now, guys.
If that person went out running for president and said, "I think we should have term limits," guess what? I'm voting for him.
But he's lying to you. You can't believe it.
Listen, worst case scenario, we get 4 years of the douchebag, but it's gonna set the tone. Maybe the next guy actually does something. I need someone just to suggest the concept of term limits. The basic concept of someone that can't keep their job forever. Just can someone just bring it up one time?
Well, they had no problem doing that to the president, right? So the people in the real, it tells you who's really in power in this country, because the president has term limits, but no Congress people have.
Which makes no sense. Yeah. So as much as I hate Gavin Newsom, I love this country more. And if he brought up the simple concept of a term limit, I would support and promote him just to get that to become a talking point in the next election.
I could see you going in to vote and just like you're angrily putting a cross on the voting slip. You know.
I would do it though, because the worst thing this country has to deal with right now is not Islam, is not LGBT, is not woke this or woke that or corporate. It's term limits. Term limits enables extreme corruption in every facet of government and business. Term limits.
I would add to that campaign funding, campaign finance.
But term limits has a part of that though, right? Like they build their coffers to these extreme points where no one can compete with Nancy Pelosi, the AKA the Queen of California, who essentially installed Gavin Newsom.
But you could have no term limits if you just had control of the money. Then anybody could run for office. But if you can't generate $50 million, you can't run for office. And not just any Tom, Dick, or Harry or Susie can do that. So you have to be tied into the system in order to even become into office. And so we really need to, anybody should be able to run that has good ideas. Frankly.
So this dude from Uganda is hanging out with a bartender from Brooklyn, and now he's going to run for mayor of one of the most important cities in the entire United States. And that's going to end up being governor and eventually senator or whatever. Now, the only good news about this, The only good news about this guy cannot get the presidency. So if he's going for that run, it's out of his. Who knows? Maybe they change that too. What happens the day when they go, well, even a naturalized person can run for president? Dude, that's going to be a nightmare.
They're not going to allow that, probably.
Well, my thing is, if you won't allow that, then why do you allow them to run for Congress?
It's a law already. It's a law. That was not a law. So, they would have to change the laws. It's not easy to change the laws.
That's true.
So they would have to want to. And they're not going to, because you still need somebody, at least ideally, who would be loyal to the country that they were born in.
I agree.
And unfortunately, you don't know if this guy's loyal to the United States or if he's just trying to become powerful, which most people are. So,
Yeah.
But what's cool, though? When this guy fails, okay, when socialism fails on a large scale, when the government supermarkets come in and they realize that they can only tax so much to pay for everything and it fails, then the country will see.
Yeah, it sucks that poor New Yorkers are going to have to deal with essentially possibly with bread lines just to get us to understand that socialism and this whole ideology doesn't work. Well, you know what's crazy? We don't have to go back that far to already know it doesn't work. There's so many examples in so many countries where it hasn't worked and it's failed. But yeah, we just keep the weird socialists on Twitter drive me nuts. They go, well, it hasn't been done correctly. Stop. The definition of insanity is to continue trying the same thing and expecting different results.
Do you know what correctly is? The way I envision it.
Right.
The reality is it's all the same thing. The money has to come from somewhere, guys.
Right.
And people who are rich, they want to be rich. They don't want to give it all away. So,
by the way, Chris is right. She's from Queens, not Brooklyn. I apologize. By the way, I can't wait to vote for AOC for president. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. That's gonna think about the numbers this show is gonna get when AOC is president. It's gonna be
your brain cells really have dropped low, haven't they?
Okay, so let's just. I do want to watch this real quick, okay?
All right.
And then we're going to do the super chats. So if you have super chats, get them in now because that's we'll read them after this. Here we go. Just look at the parade of people that walk behind them, too. It's like, oh, my God. What country are we in right now? What country is this? What country is this?
It's UK.
Six years ago, shortly after I'd announced I was running for state assembly, a well-meaning Muslim uncle pulled me aside. He smiled softly and looked at me with care. In a quiet voice.
By the way, real quick, the rotating banner at the bottom, it says San Diego sunny, San Francisco cloudy, Seattle drizzle. I want you guys to know something. Those are always the same. You can literally leave those things. I live here. You can leave those things up forever. And more than likely, like 90% of the time, those will be a correct chirons or whatever they're called. Just wanted to point that out. It's always drizzling in Seattle. It's always cloudy in San Francisco. And it's always sunny in San Diego. Period. The end.
He told me I did not have to tell people I was Muslim. His eyes kind, his beard proud, and his face heavy with the implications of the unsaid. I had not learned the lesson that he had been taught time and again. It is the lesson that safety could only be found in the shadows of our city. That it is in those shadows alone where Muslims could embrace their full identities. And that if we were to emerge from those shadows, that it is in those shadows that we must leave our faith. These are lessons that so many Muslim New Yorkers have been taught again and again. And over these last few days, these lessons have become the closing messages of Andrew Cuomo, Curtis Sliwa, and Eric Adams. Yesterday, Andrew Cuomo laughed and agreed when a radio host said that I would cheer another 9/11. Yesterday, Eric Adams said...
Not exactly true, though. So he just said something that was a lie. Blatant lie. That's not what happened. But continuing.
That we can't let our city become Europe.
He did say that, and that's very true.
No shit.
Yeah. Obviously, it shouldn't. The fact that he looks at that as some kind of like dig. He goes, "Can you believe he said that?" No.
No. We believe that.
Yeah.
Ask John. He'll tell you.
Yeah.
I support it. Yeah.
Yeah. In any decade, this is the case. Like,
he compared me to violent extremists. And he lied again and again when he said that our movement seeks to burn churches and destroy communities.
That's not what he said, though. So just so you know, the guy was talking about the ideology. He was not referencing him specifically.
But of course.
He said the ideology is dangerous, so he's taking it on as personal attack.
So once again, a politician's mouth is moving. Don't believe it. Most of it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. His uncle was actually describing an Islamic law of taqiyya. He was saying, "Don't tell him you're Muslim." Saying, "Hide that. Hide the fact that you're Muslim." Interesting.
The day before that, Curtis Sliwa slandered me from the debate stage when he claimed that I support global jihad.
That's true. He did say that.
And every day, Super PAC ads imply that I am a terrorist or mock the way I eat.
The second part of that's true. And he does eat funny. The dude was eating rice and soup with his hands. Look, here's the deal. I don't care how you eat your food. I know everyone's up in arms about this. Like, can't believe this animal eats this way. Look, guys, stop. Who cares how someone eats their food? But there is a big difference between pizza and runny soup. Okay.
But let me tell you, this is the way most people around the world eat their food. So most people eat with their hands.
But they compare it. You compare it to pizza. We eat pizza with our hands. Like, it's not the same thing.
Was he doing it in front of a camera?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So he's basically the reason he's doing it is to, he's basically trying to get in front of these old world
stage
people.
I love it, bro. He got a burrito. He got a burrito and unraveled the burrito to eat the insides with his hands.
Yes. Yeah. It's the show. It's the show.
You had a perfect vessel already, bro. What are you doing?
You're damaging the structural containment.
Yeah, you had a vessel for food that was designed to hold with your hands.
Yes. Thank you, Tina. Pandering. That was the word I was looking for.
Pandering. Yeah.
Push polls that ask New Yorkers questions like...
Again, I can care less how he eats, by the way. I think the weird people complaining about it is stupid, but whatever.
But if you're in this country, just listen, we have utensils. It's cool. The reason they don't is because they don't have utensils.
He's pointing up at me to the UK there. Did you see that, everyone?
Yeah,
He's basically saying John can't eat.
Well, you guys have fish and chips. It was designed to eat with your hands. I just think it's weird they wrap it in old newspaper.
If I tried to eat rice, it would take me about 7 hours to finish my meal.
Well, it's funny. I have a Japanese friend, and we went to, it was like 3 weeks ago. I went to lunch with this guy. He was here from like another state, and he took me to lunch. It was really nice of him. He was taking me for my birthday for an early birthday present, and we went to this like little like ramen place, and this dude was expertly eating entire scoops of rice with chopsticks, and I'm like trying to get a single kernel. I'm like, how do you do this?
I've learned how to do it. Actually, I preferred it. I don't know why, but it's fun eating rice with chopsticks.
Dude, he was efficient with those chopsticks, bro. He was like a drummer. He's flipping around his hand.
I respect that. I went out for a work stew once, and it was chopsticks, and literally about halfway through the evening, where I was so hungry and I just couldn't get the hand of these chopsticks, I was that close to literally just going, all etiquette's going out the window. My face is just going straight into the bowl.
With your hand. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Now, next time, bro, what you need to do is you need to take like some kind of rubber band or string and just tie the chopsticks together at the top and use your finger.
It with your wallet.
Yeah, and use it. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's finish this. Just to be clear, though, we don't care how he eats.
Support invented proposals to make halal food mandatory.
Halal food.
Or political cartoons that represent my candidacy as an airplane hurtling towards the World Trade Center.
To be fair, that wasn't.
But I do not want to use this moment to speak to them any further. I want to use this moment to speak to the Muslims of New York City. I want to speak to the memory of my aunt.
By the way, this is all theater. All this what he's doing right now is all theater. That's why he says a bunch of salacious, pretty much lies, out of context, completely incorrect about what they said. Some of it was true, most of it wasn't. He says all that, and then he pauses. All theater, all kabuki. The whole purpose of this is to try to get other Muslims, in which the population of Muslims is pretty large, to back him. They want sympathy from Muslims, whether they're right winger, left winger, or moderate, or centrist, or whatever. This is all theater.
There's about 1 million Muslims, up to about 1 million Muslims living in New York City, represents 7 to 12% of the city's total population. So, frankly speaking, New York City, if you don't want a Muslim mayor, there's plenty of you to vote for Andrew Cuomo, who only killed a bunch of old people during COVID.
But wait, how many liberal white women? Because they're going to be voting for the Muslim guy with the nice beard.
Oh, okay. 50% of the population, 50% of the vote now.
So 50% plus 1 million Muslims. You're screwed, guys. Sorry, Muslim.
Yeah. Are you voting for Sidious or Darth Maul, basically?
Yeah.
Take your pick.
That's the biggest problem is a bunch of liberal white women. They always vote the wrong way, no matter what. Completely uninformed and just vote the wrong way. It's crazy. All right. Sorry. Oh, he's crying, bro.
Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
By the way, very few people feel safe in the New York subway. Regardless of whether or not they have a job or not. It's not a safe place.
Listen, I'm not going to lie, man. After 9/11, when I flew, and I flew quite a bit, I sat as far up to the cabin, and I sat in the backward seat looking back. And I promise you, even though I'm not a racist person, I looked for anybody wearing Islamic gear and said, come on, we're going down together. Because it was a very scary time.
Even the poor Hindu people that got lumped into the Islamics?
I used to say to myself, if anybody approaches the cabin of this where this pilot is flying, I will fucking kill them. Right? If anybody approaches it and they look like they're trying to get in, I will fucking kill them right now. That was what was going through my head.
Some poor little girl with pigtails like, can I see the captain?
He's like, get away around. Spinning around in the cabin.
I will throw you out this window, girl.
That was Liam Neeson, bro. I saw Naked Gun, okay?
Look, we got to have this action movie from Shane because it's like, in a time when nerves were frayed, there's one man that stepped forward. Shane.
One man. Yeah, no, seriously.
They're children.
Everybody was freaked out. I mean, people were, they had just flown.
Yeah, I joined the army because of 9/11.
So my point is people were looking because we didn't know much. And the people who attacked our country, were from those Arab countries. And so people were understandably afraid. Now, was it wrong? Yes. But people were scared, when
some of us believe that. Some of us think that maybe it was an inside job.
Well, you know what? I don't even want to go into that right now because
I'm just saying. How did steel beams melt, bro? I'm kidding. Okay.
He's making himself a victim here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I hear you saying. There's a whole thing about that. We could do a whole show just on
Tucker Carlson went off the deep end on the 9/11 thing, bro. He really did. He's like, look at these buildings. They're on fire. They're not melting or falling down. I'm like, what? What's going on with you, Tucker? Are you cool? Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens are just becoming sort of crazy. It's like they don't have anything to fight anymore, so they're like, trying to find stuff to fight.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
But I was saying, Shane's just saying what I said earlier. Where you're not a racist person, but you're thinking, I've got to keep an eye out because I don't know what is happening to the world at the moment. You go from, you instantly on 9/11, you went from a high trust society to a low trust society.
Right.
Because you were profiling people because of what had happened.
But
Now,
that's how
not
you
racism.
survive. That's survival. You need
Human condition.
Yeah, it's profile. Look, guys, I'm sorry. Like, let's just take species completely out of the equation. When you go outside and you see a little poodle dog walking your way, and its tail is wagging, and it's tiny, and you can probably kick it about 40 yards.
No fear. No fear.
Is this a true story, Brian?
Now, hold up. Now, replace the poodle dog with a snarling pit bull that's the size of a Volkswagen. You are going to be fearful quick, not based on the fact that, it's a different species, a different race, different color, fully based on profiling. You have to profile against dangerous things. And when you see danger everywhere, you start to take these two types of people and you start to put them in the dangerous category. Now, when you see them, you think danger because that is survival, man.
Well, think about the Crips and the Bloods, right? We're from Southern California, John. I don't know if you know a lot about this, but it's a huge gang violence is huge in Los Angeles,
Compton
right?
in Los Angeles, yeah.
Compton, well, it's basically Los Angeles.
Well, Compton, Long Beach. Let's just say Los Angeles.
Greater Los Angeles area. So, for the longest time in music, in TV and movies, you had this violence of young black men committing all these violent acts. And so when you're
red versus blue, they're all
right. All of a sudden you think that every black guy is either a Blood or a Crip and is going to kill you as they're walking down the street. And so it's a shame because it's not true, but that's what the narrative that gets created in us. So, it's,
but if they're wearing like the red bandana, then you have to associate that with what you know about that particular area and those particular people. And you go, well, that's probably a gang member.
Right.
But it has nothing to do with the color of skin and everything to do with the way they're presenting.
So it's spread out. And unfortunately, when you're up in, Santa Barbara or something, and you got some old white lady walking down the street and this, black guy with his pants down around his butt, she goes to the other side of the street. Right. Because this is what she's being conditioned to believe, even though that guy, he goes to church, he takes care of his grandma, and he's a fantastic dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I got to tell you a story about that real quick. So when I was younger, I had this preacher, his name was George, I want to say Lopez or Gutierrez or some.
Was he a comedian?
It was a last name that was Hispanic. No, he was a pastor. Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember in church listening to this guy talk. And he told us about how he pastored his first church in Compton and how the gang violence was such a big problem over there. And everyone's walking around with either blue or red colors, bandanas, shirts, etc. He thought it would be a great idea to wear a purple bandana because if you mix red and blue, you get purple. And so he wore a purple bandana and a purple shirt, and he goes out there and he's like ministering to these people. He got beat up by both.
Pick a side, man.
He got beat up by. They did unite to beat him up.
You can imagine it's like someone got his legs, someone got his arms. He's
what they did is they profiled his ass and they were like, get the Mexican. That's exactly what they did. They profiled him.
It was so funny. Like he was talking about I remember him talking about it like with pride, like he was able to unite people, but they united to beat his ass.
I bet he can't look at the color purple in the same way.
To be fair, that guy ended up starting a pretty big church in I want to say Long Beach or Alameda. Where's Los Alamitos? Somewhere over there, like Los Alamitos area.
Los Alamitos, I think, is in
San Francisco.
Northern California. Yeah, San Francisco.
No, Los Alamitos not. No, it's not.
Oh,
do you know when you said that?
Los Alamitos.
Alamitos.
Los Alamitos. Somewhere over there, he started a pretty big Baptist church
Do you know why
with X Crypt and
it's between Anaheim and Long Beach.
Yeah, X Crypt and Blood members, which is so to his credit, he did manage to reach them eventually, but he had to get his.
I know where
cleaned.
nowhere is in. I know where nowhere is in the United States, but when you said Alameda, all I thought was Star Trek 4.
Star Trek 4.
Yeah.
Police officer. And
Alameda is a street. Yeah, I said the name wrong.
Wessels.
I apologize. Alameda is a street in Los Angeles. Right? All right. One more. We got another minute of this, and we're going to do super chats.
I want to speak to the Muslim who works for our city. Whether they teach in our schools or walk the beat for the NYPD. New Yorkers who all make daily sacrifices for the city they call home, only to see their leaders spit in their face. I want to speak to every child who grows up here, marked as the other, who is randomly selected in a way that never quite feels random, who feels that they carry a stain that can never be cleaned. Growing up in the shadow of 9/11, I have known what it means.
A little bit,
or religion
out here.
My faith pulled me aside against our mosques and know that condemnation will never come.
I'm just gonna paraphrase because I'm gonna move on. Basically, he talks for 10 minutes about how New York is Islamophobic, the United States is not Islamophobic. They, hate them, they prosecute them, etc., etc. When there are people that are Islamophobic for sure. I'm one of them, but I don't hate them. I don't want to blow up their mosques. I don't want to do any of that stuff.
Phobic means you're afraid, not that you hate.
Right. Yeah, but I'm certainly afraid of that ideology, for sure. So he goes on for about 10 minutes, basically crashes out about how everyone hates Muslims and he wants to run as a Muslim. And
bro, we've spent the last 35 years fighting Arab nations.
Right.
Literally go back to the Persian Gulf War. You do 9/11, you do Iraq, you do Afghanistan, and what has been happening for the last 50 years? Extreme Islam ideologists have been blowing up places, committing violence, suicide bombing. Why the fuck do you think people are afraid of or have Islamophobia?
Right.
Yeah.
And you know that's a really good point, Shane. Wait. Hey, why are you Islamophobic? You keep killing us. I don't know.
That's why.
Can we just stop? Can we stop killing things and blowing things up? We won't be afraid of you. Please stop it.
Do you know what? After the 7/7 terrorist attack in the UK, it was when Tony Blair and co. They started coining the phrase "religion of peace," and that's been used ever since in the UK. I don't know about whether it is in the United States, but you're right. I mean, we wouldn't have a problem if they were coming in and helping out in the community and everything's hunky-dory, because what we're concerned about is we're not worried about necessarily every single one, but it just takes one, and that's what people are thinking about now in the community. We have it with synagogues in the UK now. You've had 9/11. There are incidents that occur that people are worried about the next one that is going to happen.
Of course.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, again, like someone said in the chat, he's playing the victim card, isn't he? About look how bad we've had it. You're running for mayor of New York City. You can't have it too bad.
He's talking to 12% of the population. You know what I mean? It's
the funniest thing about that is it reminds me of like the No Kings thing. Like, no kings, okay.
No violence. Okay.
All right, we agree. I'm not sure what you're protesting. We all agree on this. Jeez. All right, let's do some super chats before we move to the next topic. I'm pretty sure this is Yoron Fall. He says stings, huh? For 200 SEK. That's how I know it's Yoron, because I can't see his name. I see the.
Thank you, brother.
For some reason, YouTube is only showing usernames. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, it's playing up again, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure this is Euron. He says, stings, huh? 90s had us pumped, blasting Europe's final countdown on Walkmans, thinking we'd crushed communism. But sneaky chameleons fooled us. Now we're waking up ready to see through the lies. Hashtag 90s nostalgia. Hashtag wake up. I do miss the 90s. I know this is a very like millennial boomer thing to say or whatever. I don't care. It was better back then.
I miss the 80s. Gen X.
I know. And look at this. People are like automatically go, "Oh, you're old because you think older music was better." No, I think it objectively is better.
Yeah. It's all manufactured now.
You think movies and TV was better? Objectively, it's better. It was better. I don't know what to tell you. Like what has gotten better? Yeah, the quality of content, streaming, the speed of internet, the speed of computers, cars, safety mechanisms. Sure, there's things that have gotten better, but when it comes to pop culture, it feels like everything stopped in like 2010. And after then, it's been sort of like just regurgitating nonsense.
Corporations took over.
Maybe 2012, just to give it like a number that seems like important. Like I said, Peak America was the first Transformer movie when Optimus Prime was giving his speech to a sunrise, and over the camera it pans, and he's talking about how you can come here, and there's Linkin Park blaring in the background, and it pans up a Camaro, a brand new Camaro with a hot chick on the cover, and he's like, "We are waiting." All I've done, dude. I was like, that's it. We've reached the pinnacle of culture. We can never go back from this.
Was that 2003?
I think it was 2000. Yeah, it was 2000 something.
For a minute, I thought you were going to talk about the first one in the 80s that was traumatic for what happened to Optimus Prime. I thought you were going there for a second.
Dude, when you hear the Linkin Park music, dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
and Optimus starts talking, the guy who does his voice is a legend too.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is it. This is it. This is the peak. We didn't know it'd be all downhill from then. So,
yeah,
unfortunately.
Danny the Dark Knight became a member. Thank you, Danny. Woo. He also said that he did not know that his membership had lapsed. Well, thank you for coming back to fold, Danny, and we're going to go into the members section in about 20 minutes. You know, it's here. We got some more.
Let's read the whole thing. I just renewed it. Never change. Brian and Shane, your voice is as soothing as mother's milk. Danny,
my voice is not soothing.
He's talking about you, bro.
Oh, let me tell you something, Danny.
Soothing.
I appreciate you saying that. I understand when you say Shane's voice is as soothing as mother's milk. I sound like a 60-year-old smoker that just got like one of those, scope endoscopies.
Keep making that motion, please.
But not the breath.
That thing you put in your throat and it scratches your throat.
Gold plate.
Yeah, I sound like Bobcat. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it, my friend. And one more. Tina Guzman. I don't know who that is. You know who that is?
Yeah, she's been talking today.
In chat tonight, yeah.
Well, whoever it is, I appreciate you super chatting, Tina. And Tina says, if you two watch what's going on, what's going on?
YouTube on 2CTV.
2CTV. I've never heard of 2C, but I'll check it out. 2CTV.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I think they
2007. Thank you, Kevin. What'd you say?
I think yeah, I've heard of it. I think they do a lot of investigations and reporting from things that the mainstream media don't report.
I like that.
Okay, guys. All right.
TV. I'm gonna look at that.
I want you guys to see this peak America right here. Okay. Thank you for reminding me where it was from. Here we go.
With the Allspark gone, we cannot return like
back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, you got the Camaro, bro.
People now hiding in plain sight, but watching.
I'm gonna get to the end here. I'm gonna fast forward so we don't get a copyright claim. I love this.
Like us, there's more to them than meets the eye.
Yeah, it's that line,
dude. Just another fucking illegal immigrant.
Prime.
All you are is another fucking illegal immigrant. Get off our planet.
Now you see ICE tackling him to the ground. In a second.
They got their masks on, right? We got the Transformers. Back to you.
There is more of us. Get him before he says anything else.
Look, if you can't tell us what planet you're from, you're going to El Salvador. There's a bunch of Transformers in El Salvador prison. Like, we really do want to be here any longer.
You got like a Camaro in a cage.
And the next thing you see is Bumblebee's running for office in New York, and he's going to be the new mayor of New York. And all the Transformers
He's talking with the radio.
I was afraid after 9/11. What the hell's going on here? Sorry, I couldn't resist. Christopher Eady, welcome to being a new cast member,
That was too good, bro. That was too good. Oh man, that was good. It's such a perfect setup too. Why didn't I think about the ice angle?
I was waiting for it.
I didn't think about the ice angle. It's too good.
God damn illegal immigrants.
Oh,
hiding in our gardens.
Oh. Yeah. I can't get the vision of ICE agents tackling Optimus Prime.
Like 15 of them.
There's like 15. They're all hanging on his legs. Like, God down.
We're gonna need more agents.
They're all zapping him with the tasers.
Rope round his legs.
Like a Star Wars, like they're doing the AT-AT thing.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, dude. Thank you, Tina. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Or woman.
Whatever the hell however you identify yourself.
Yeah.
By the way, we don't care.
Kevin said Megan Fox is crazy now. Yeah, it's crazy because back then Megan Fox was like peak. She was like absolute stunning creature. And
Didn't
something
she
happened where
now?
she got more and more like robotic over time, where she literally looks like an android now. She looks
You
like
saw the last movie she was in, right?
Yeah, no, she was perfect for the role because she looked like
the last movie she was in, Megan 2, which
but she was actually in a robot movie.
Come on, I'm doing jokes here.
I know. That would have been funnier had she not just played in a robot movie.
Oh, was she? Really?
You know this? Yeah. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. I mean, it's literally perfect. She was in a movie called Subservience, and I actually like this movie a lot because she looks the role. Okay, look at her. Look at this.
Oh,
that's not makeup. That's just her.
Just plugged her in.
She's had some face work done, I think.
Yeah, she's had a lot of face work, and the funniest part of this.
Is that Michael Jackson?
No, I don't think so. The funniest part of this was this scene right here. They made a point of going, I don't have to brush my teeth. I have ultraviolet light. I'm like, wait a minute.
That's not what you were thinking.
Yeah, no. That's not what anyone was thinking. Let me be clear.
This is Sexbot 1000. This is what's
That's
happening.
what this is, yes. But to be clear, they didn't make this ultraviolet light because maybe she would eat or drink. No, she doesn't have to eat or drink. She gets power from the wall. So why would this be in her mouth? What is the only other purpose for this to be in her mouth? To clean out what? What? What would this be cleaning out, bro? Pizza? No. Why would she be eating pizza?
All right, we should move.
We all know what this is for, Megan. Let's be clear.
But let's ask a very important question. Would any of us take the risk?
100%.
No, dude, no. I'm not putting it in there. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it might not come back.
I mean, that's a good point, too.
That's scary.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's very scary.
I would still buy one, though, just to make this on do dishes. I hate doing dishes. It'd be great to have someone do dishes.
Robot. Yes, from the Jetsons. We need one of those.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Come on, Elon. Let's get those Optimus robots out there.
But we need to make it so that the robots aren't hot. Because if they're remotely attractive whatsoever, people are going to be having sex with them nonstop.
I don't want it. I don't want them doing the dishes because I know I will be that one guy that the police will turn up one day. I've been murdered by it, and I've been pushed inside the dishwasher. I'm just folded inside of it by this.
Well, don't treat it like a clothes, bro. Okay, you know. Treat them like
put on a long wash.
So John's that guy. I'll be the guy that treats them so well they end up talking me into doing the dishes while they're watching TV. Yeah. Oh, my
All
bad.
the beta
Sorry,
males will actually be working for their robot.
I ended up being a total cock to the robot I bought.
I bought you. Shut up and do the dishes.
Yeah.
Don't you love me? I don't know. Mom. I don't. What's
the
happening right now?
You never buy me anything anymore.
All right, we're going to the member section in about 8 minutes, but I did want to tease the topic we're going to be covering. We're going to be talking about UFOs repeatedly visiting defense site, and this Air Force veteran, his details about these shocking UAP sightings.
Yes, it's called the Vandenberg UFO incident. I live about 80 miles from there, so it's very interesting.
Here's a little touch on it, and we're going to do wrap-ups, and we're going to member section. So if you're not a member, become a member now while you got time, because in about 8 minutes, we're heading over there. So this is, Shane, this is the, what is it going, Vandenberg, what?
Vandenberg Air Force Base, now Vandenberg Space Force Base, and it's basically where Elon Musk launches all of his SpaceX rockets from. But in 2003, there was a UFO incident that was that had been classified until recently. And this gentleman, Mr. Nucitelli, was an active duty military member, and him and a bunch of other people saw something that happened that was very strange.
So fun fact, I actually considered joining the Space Force.
Yeah.
Because there was a time they were taking any ex-military, and like I was like just before like the cutoff time, right? Cutoff age at 42. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna join the Space Force. They're giving them pretty good benefits, blah blah whatever. And so I applied just to get more information, and I got a call back from the guy politely telling me that they were not interested. Effectively. I'm like, yep. Wait a minute. I have a high ASVAB score. I served honorably. Why wouldn't you want me? We're looking for people with college degrees. So I guess designers, 250-pound graphic designers are not what you're looking for. Okay, I get it.
Look, if they are doing it and they will take applications, and I stood a chance of getting in, and the ships that they might fly one day are like Colonial Vipers, I'm there. I'm signed up to it. I don't care.
You want citizenship, bro? You got to join the military, and you'll eventually get it.
Brilliant. You're telling me I'll get a Viper?
Well, I think you're too old to actually join the service. Now that I know your real age, I'm like, never mind. You get it.
Thanks, mate.
They're not going to let you into it.
Thanks. I've expired.
So this is the start of this. We're going to play a minute, and then we're going to close out, and we're going to watch the rest of it in the member section.
In 2003 and 2005, 5 UAP incidents occurred at Vandenberg Air Force Base.
What's a UAP, Shane?
Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
So UFO.
Used to be UFO.
These facilities were vital, and they were repeatedly visited by UAP. I personally witnessed one of these events and investigated others as they occurred. Boeing contractor.
Whoever did this video, we did not need I love the weird overlay, bro. 1 second.
You know why they did the weird overlay? Go ahead, John.
I was going to say, isn't it perfect that we're talking about this, and that song from Supernatural, the Winchesters, comes in at exactly that moment? How good is that?
Yeah, I think that's Brian's favorite song. But the reason why there's this overlay happening here is because another agency played this video. So they're basically trying not to get copywritten on YouTube.
Got you.
That's why
is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's what it is.
So they're doing the weird overlay. Okay, all right. Well, I'll give them credit for that. Yeah. By the way, Kansas Wayward Son is my favorite song. So it's also my ringtone.
Funny, it's on mine as well. It's funny that.
I'm not all dying that hill. It's one of the greatest songs of all time, and it's on one of the greatest shows of all time. So here we go.
Reported a massive glowing red square silently hovering over 2 missile defense sites. Later that night, while I was on duty, security guards at a critical launch site reported a bright, fast-moving object over the ocean. I heard my friends screaming, "It's coming right at us, it's coming right for us, and now it's right here."
There you go. That's all you want to play show right now.
Okay. 1 second. I got another call. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but basically this, so this is an incident that occurred. We're going to talk more about it in the member section, but this was in 2003. Okay. Now, what happened in 2004 was the Tic Tac incident in just off the coast of California. This is happening in 2003, Tic Tac in 2004, a whole lot of UFO, UAP, USO stuff occurring during this time frame. And this just came out recently in congressional, questioning.
Well, this is also, mate, I was going to say, because I've been reading up a lot more about the stories about nuclear sites being tampered with. So they're wanting to do nuclear launch tests, and they would appear over the sites, and the controls would start going haywire.
Mm-hmm.
Or I've read up about there were space launches that were cancelled as a result of UAPs. So
they actually activated the Russian missile silos.
Yeah,
they were deactivated and they activated them. Then they turned them off to show they could.
Yeah.
So,
again, that's crazy stuff, and that's the basically baller stuff saying, don't mess with us. We can do whatever we want.
Gangster.
I mean, you have these credible guys. I mean, this guy's a credible guy. These are credible people coming forward. To pretend like nothing is happening is insane to me.
You see the guys on the left as well.
Yeah.
In that James Fox who did the documentary we like, which is the
you're right. It is James Fox.
Yeah.
James
and
Fox
he's got another one coming out soon.
All right, we're gonna talk more about that in the members section. We're gonna be heading over there right now. First, John Burns says, member for 14 months. Thank you, John.
Woo!
Says Trump tearing up the White House before Canadians can burn it down again.
Nice.
Satirical Canadian headline. Hi guys, thumbs up. Thank you, John.
Yeah, and it's funny. He, if you guys didn't see, also one more bit of info. I guess Canada ran an ad where basically Reagan was talking shit about tariffs when he was president, right? And Trump got pissed and said, "That's it. We're not going to talk about it anymore. All tariff talks is off with Canada. Screw you guys." Right? And trying to get him to pull that ad down. So that's something that happened this week too.
Yeah. And then John Burns also said, "Join ICE, get the GI Bill, enjoy college."
Yes.
Let me tell you something. That GI Bill is not all it's cut out to be. So
it is kind of a little bit of a. I mean, it works, but at the same time, you got to put money into the GI Bill. So they take money out of your account.
Yeah.
Here's what's hilarious about the GI Bill. For the first year that you're in the military, they at least when I was serving, they took $100 a month out of my paychecks, which I didn't get, but like $500 or $600 a month at the time.
Yeah, you got
for a
paid
year. They take $100 out.
Right.
And then when you're out of the military, you can utilize it. But the problem is like 95% of everybody who joins doesn't utilize the GI Bill. So where the fuck does all that money go to?
Right. Right. And
Newsom.
Not all schools accept the GI Bill, just to be clear. All right. We're going to the members section, my friends. If you'd like to support us and you're not a member already, please consider going to our awesome t-shirt site right here, mixtees.com or mxtz.co, whatever. Click on YouTube exclusive, scroll down to the BRANE Show right there, and buy something from our store, or buy anything on the website, really. But if you buy it from here, we know that you buy it from our store. We're going to be adding more stuff as we go, but there's a lot of cool stuff in this car. My favorite thing is the Epstein Didn't Kill Himself shirt. This is Shane's favorite shirt and my favorite hat. And this is an inside joke for...
the rest of the stuff on the side is actually cooler. But
yeah, we don't have as cool as stuff as Popcast Nerdrotic hat, but
maybe.
Also, if you want to become a member, hit that click the join button bottom left, because we're going to the member section right now, and we'd love for you guys to go join with us. If you can't, that's cool too. We'll be back tomorrow on John's channel watching some Stargate, and then of course next Saturday, same bat time, same bat channel, boys.
Yes. Just thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for watching us yet again. I love the fact that we got John. So John came on to basically fill in for me because I was going to, we didn't want to move the show again. If you guys have been with us a long time, we've moved this show many different days, many times. And we kind of like this Saturday time slot we're in. So we said, well, let's see if somebody else will come in, and Brian was hanging out with John, and it was really great. I got to tell you, I love that you're here, John. I love that you're with us doing this. And so thank you. And we're going to keep you. We're not going to let you go. Now
John kept sending me feet pics, and it won me over.
Yeah.
John,
mate, that big toe, mate, it worked.
Big toe. It's a veiny toe. I'm not sure how it's so veiny and muscular, but it's good.
Yeah. I had socks on, and I just cut out the big toe part of the sock. You know. Pleasure being here, guys.
Anything on the way out, bro? Before we leave.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, it's great hanging out with you two. We have such a laugh, and talk about great stuff as well. So it's just a joy every week hanging out with you two.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir.
And the chat.
And and by the way, thank you for being here, both y'all. And chat, thank you for being here. Viewers, you guys are awesome supporters. We're going to the member section right now. I hope you guys can join us. We're gonna get a little more naughty over there. We talk a little more candidly. I hope you guys can join us in that member section. If not, that's cool. See you guys tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. PST on John's channel. Adios, muchachos. I can't find the button again.
Here comes the